Morning. Good morning.
Did you get out of bed like that?
Yes, I always look like this, Paul. I just can't help it that I look naturally glamorous. Without any help whatsoever.
I can be glamorous, look.
It doesn't work when you do it, Paul. No.
You've just had a run-in with Alexa, haven't you? He asked her to set a 15-minute timer. And she didn't understand, so he asked again for a 15-minute timer. And then you said bitch at the end of it. So what does she do?
Set a 1-minute timer. She doesn't understand, though, that she will go out of the window with any more of that attitude. Thank you very much for joining us today on this beautiful, beautiful day. It's Friday for us.
Yeah.
Friday. It's Sunday for you. Stop jiggling, Paul.
Sunday chat! I just thought I'd get that in there.
Thank you. I thought you were going to make us a nice drink.
No.
Oh.
I heated myself up some tea.
Yeah, I thought I could hear the microwave going. I thought, oh, lovely, a tea is waiting for me when I get down there.
You made that horrible tea this morning.
Oh, it was lovely and strong. Strong Earl Grey with...
It wasn't Earl Grey.
It was.
It was Lady Grey.
Well, 3 Lady Grey and 2 Builder's tea bags in a big teapot. Nice and strong and hard and dark. And sweetened with honey.
It's sort of got it's got bergamot and orange in it, hasn't it? Where Earl Grey, I think, is Earl Grey bergamot and lemon?
Or bergamot.
Bergamot. And, it's too many bags for me. It was too citrusy.
You make weak tea. Pissy weak tea.
I don't.
You do, Paul.
I don't.
You're from as far south as you can possibly go. And most people in the south cannot make tea. It's true. We northerners like a nice strong brew with a bit of taste to it.
You do, don't you?
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
We do, because we need it up north.
I just thought
it's hard.
I thought the citrus top was just too...
Oh, it was lovely. I like a blend, you see.
Have we got any of that Christmas tea from like 2 years ago?
From like 15 years ago,
Yeah,
Paul.
We'll have to have some of that.
No, we haven't got any Christmas tea.
Oh, what's that one in the cupboard?
It wasn't Christmas tea we used to buy. We used to buy Spice Imperial.
Oh yeah, from Whittards.
Loose leaf tea. But now we don't shop in places like that because we're poor.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We're not extravagant, and we were saying that last time, weren't we, Paul?
Yeah.
Frugalivant. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Bloody welcome. Thank you for joining us, and thank you also to new followers on Instagram. Our Instagram feed's quite good now, Paul.
10 million now.
Shut up. No, welcome to new followers. Don't be stupid, Paul. On Instagram, we've got a lovely feed on Instagram now, and more of you are deciding to join us on there. And also, I want to let you into a little secret. I know somebody else has got an Instagram now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The lovely Vivi Gregory of What Vivi Did Next and Vivi's Kitchen Garden. She's on Instagram. Go over and find her. Join her with lovely pictures of gardening, vegetables and vintage. Vegetables and vintage.
Ooh. There's a new YouTube channel.
Don't use that. That's mine.
I know someone will be changing the channel name quite soon to Vegetables and Vintage, I'm sure.
Well, there's a few of them out there. Change their channell name every week.
Absolutely.
Ridiculous, you can't keep up. It's like being in a washing machine on full spin. People,
which way does a washing machine spin?
Both.
Does it? Does it go both ways?
They turn both ways.
Do they?
Yeah. Yeah.
But which way do they spin?
I think it's clockwise. I think.
What's clockwise?
I don't know. Paul, you're really, really pushing it this morning. I'm doing this with love.
I'm not quite sure about that.
So, Also, welcome to newer subscribers, subscribers, followers, whatever you call them.
On
these days.
YouTube.
On YouTube. And also new members on our Facebook group, Planet Vegetaria. That's a Facebook group by Richard and Paul since 2017. That's contractual.
That's sort of jumped quite a bit in the last few days.
We love new people applying. But if you do apply, and you do have to apply because it's a private group.
Yeah.
Private.
Answer the questions.
Answer the bloody questions.
Because if you don't,
you won't come in. Sorry, love.
No.
So, weather this morning is cool, bright, and has been a little misty and foggy. In fact, Paul, today... Sorry, I just thought maybe one of my breasts was hanging out. Today...
It was a movie episode.
Today, there's been a pollution warning.
Yes, there has.
There's been a pollution warning for London.
Don't go out and exercise.
And do any vigorous exercise. So that's our walk out.
I thought you were going to say that's having sex along the canal out. I wonder what that's called. Because you have dogging in car parks, don't
Paul,
you?
this is not a sexual channel.
Oh, no, I just
there
wondered.
are children watching.
Oh, yes,
Paul.
yes. Yes, dogging is where lots of dogs go and they get
Paul,
very happy.
You're really... Sorry, the demon came through then. Paul, just calm down now. What were we saying? You've ruined that now, you see. You've ruined that segment completely, like you always do. I'm giving up, I can't go on. Weather.
Yeah.
Pollution warning. Don't go out and do vigorous exercise, blah, blah, blah. So we've decided to stay in and put the air filters on.
Well, you have put the air filters
on.
on.
You can on a misty, foggy day, you can smell exhaust fumes. And you can smell that sort of smell that's coming from all the heating doodahs as well. And it gathers in the air because the air is very still.
I think we also had some noon smells yesterday.
I could smell factory cooking smells.
So there's there's Noon Foods, which is a huge provider of mainly, I think, Indian foods to supermarkets, own brand. And they're about 2 miles away from us, 2 miles away.
It's not 2 miles.
A mile away?
Less than a mile, I would have thought.
It's about 836.573 metres away from us. And sometimes they have filters on their big sort of chimney things. But sometimes one of the filters stops, or it breaks down, so you can sort of smell. It's not that they're putting any bad things into the air because it's all vapour going up, but they have filters that take out the smell. And sometimes when they break down, we can smell it. And I think because there was no wind yesterday, it just sort of settled. That smell settled along with, as you say, exhaust fumes and things like that. Did you see that
story about the soybean factory?
No.
The filters broke.
No.
And the whole town had, I think it was soybean husks all over the town. It snowed soybeans.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's what happens when filters go wrong. We could do a show on that.
When filters go wrong.
Yeah. That's what I just said, Paul.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking it through and thinking how... Mind you do have those sort of idiots at work and things like that, don't you? Yeah.
So we'd like to say a couple of thank yous this morning as well. Thank you very much to Danny, the polyculturalist
in Australia.
The polyculturalist in Australia. That's right. I can speak Australian a little bit. I've been practicing. And thank you very much for that lovely note, that lovely Christmas note that you sent through. It was very kind of you.
Which we received on Monday, I think. It was sent, I think, on the 5th of December from Australia. and we got it on Monday. So it took a month to come through.
Well, there's been a lot of problems recently. In fact, we've had no post at work. We're now on the list of areas that are having problems with staff shortages. So we're actually not getting an awful lot of posts through, I've noticed. There hasn't been an awful lot of letters. And I don't think things are going out because we've had a few things at work, a few complaints at work, people not receiving things that have been sent. So I think there's a blockage somewhere and in the chain, both ways. Parcels seem to be coming through. There's, the private deliveries like Amazon and also Parcel Force, I think, are getting
the courier
through.
deliveries,
The courier delivery, are getting through, but the regular old bog standard Royal Mail, which really, with the Royal seal of approval, should get through, really.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are problems. So thank you to Danny. And also thank you to Faith for your little Christmas naughty bundle, Faith, which included this it won't focus, Paul. It won't focus. You need to keep it back. Another in the series of the gorgeous pictures that you've been sending us. I hope you've sent Faith a message, a private message.
I haven't
Paul.
yet. I meant to do it yesterday.
You're really pushing it now.
Isn't that lovely? And look, you see Brussels sprouts? Vivi, can you see those Brussels sprouts?
It's delightful. These delightful pastoral scenes of allotments, which we've now got 4 of. Collection of 4?
3, I think.
3? Is it 3? We've got a few. So thank you.
They're
and also
lovely.
Thank you so much for the calendar, the beanie hat, and very, very naughty, gorgeous box of shortbread, which I have to say, I started yesterday and couldn't stop.
No, you couldn't.
I had to physically remove the box from the area and step away.
You buried it in the garden.
I didn't, to be ridiculous, Paul. Your jokes are getting worse. Paul,
Thank you.
now.
I'll take that as a positive comment. So I got back from the allotment yesterday and had a cup of tea. And I thought, I'll have a shortbread biscuit. So I opened the tin to find that the whole top layer had virtually gone.
That's a lie.
No, it's not.
It was half of the top
It
layer.
wasn't. It was 7 segments of the top layer.
I couldn't stop.
You couldn't stop.
It
No.
was a problem.
So I ate the rest. So now we've got a lovely tin with a robin on it.
We've got plenty more layers to go. That was very generous. Thank you. And a lovely tin. The tin is gorgeous.
Lovely, yeah.
So thank you very much, Faith. It's very, very generous and very kind.
And your card as well, obviously. So thank you for that.
Also wanted to say thank you very much for watching my new series, episode 1 of Cheap, Tasty and Filling. That's cheap, tasty and filling. My new vegetarian cookery show on our YouTube channel, which premiered last week.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday. Episode 2 will be out. Episode 2 will be out this Wednesday, the 19th of January.
And what's
at
that?
6 p.m. I'm not going to say, they're going to see. It's going to be premiering again.
I think cheap, tasty and filling is so apt.
Why? Because I'm cheap, tasty. Paul! Dirty doo-doo. Which brings us on to vegetarian... Veganuary. Vagina January. Doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't work.
I don't know who came up with vegan yeah. I don't know who came up with that. It just doesn't work.
When I started typing it on the computer the other day...
Alexa, please stop.
You were very kind to her then.
Well, I'm not pushing my luck.
No, I better not.
She could blow the house up. You never know.
Yeah.
I
was typing it the other day, and it auto-corrected. I put the egg.
You're right.
And then it changed it.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we saying? Let me just restart this camera because otherwise it just gets too hot.
Oh, you're quite hot, aren't you?
Paul, don't say disgusting things like that in front of the viewers. Thank you
I
very
thought you were cutting that
much.
bit.
Yeah, we wanted to talk a little bit about this whole obsession that people seem to be having in January, with going vegan, going vegetarian, I'm doing a new diet, da-da-da-da-da.
I mean, it's understandable because it is January. So that's understandable.
No, but the point we want to sort of talk about, really, and it's kind of a bit of a rant, I guess, because we're pescatarian, so that means we eat a bit of fish in our diet, which we do through personal choice. Probably going to wean ourselves off that at some point, but we haven't managed to do that yet. But we don't eat as much fish as we do.
No.
And it mainly consists of either tuna, which we still enjoy, very often in a pasta dish, and fish fingers.
Yeah.
Which, we do still enjoy. We like them. They're great on a sandwich. I couldn't eat a fish in the shape.
Or you've always hated heads and things, haven't you? Yeah.
Can't do that. Can't do anything in the shape.
No.
If it reminds me that it is an animal.
Yeah, if it looked like a cow on your plate.
No, like a leg.
Oh, right, a whole leg of a cow on your plate.
Oh, Paul, you're really pushing it today. You may die before the hour is out.
Pescatarian.
Yeah. And, so we do believe in vegetarianism, veganism, all of that. But I don't know whether you remember, we talked about sort of doing New Year's resolutions and how ineffective they are.
Can be
For most people, frankly.
Yeah.
And the thing we see is people deciding to change their diets, to change their habits, like that, without necessarily getting any proper advice.
Yeah. Or doing proper research.
Now, research on the internet, really, it depends on the sources that you're looking at. They have to be qualified sources.
Yes.
Really.
People who understand about medicine and nutrition.
Yeah. And we're sort of, I read a story and you read something the other day about people who are choosing to do veganism, to go vegan, without researching, and end up with malnutrition.
Yeah.
Now, malnutrition doesn't mean underfed.
No.
It means the wrong kind of nutrition for your body. Because we're all individuals. And there's also this thing about protein as well.
Oh, it drives me up the wall, and I see it on cookery programmes, like Sunday Kitchen or Saturday Kitchen, whatever, where they say we're going to do and this is vegan. And it's got sort of like broccoli and onions and tomatoes in it, and it's rice. And they say, this is a lovely vegan dish that you can serve at a dinner party. It's quick to whip up, blah, blah, blah. But there's no protein in it. There's no complete protein.
It's an accompaniment.
Yeah, it is.
And they don't seem to say this, do they?
No. I mean, what you need to do is, if you're having a meal like that, you need to make sure that in that same day, you're getting the protein that you need through your other meals or in a different way. But they never ever say that.
No, they don't. And also, they don't talk enough about complete protein.
No.
And we're just mentioning this in case anybody, is switching and hasn't really thought about it properly. You need to do proper research. You need to get a proper book. Really, get a book. Or seek advice from your GP.
Yep.
You should do that before changing your diet anyway, you know.
Yeah.
And it's the same with weight loss as well. You know, people embarking on these fad diets.
Keto.
I get so, you know what really gets me really annoyed, and don't even start with the comments, really, because keto and paleo are frankly bullshit and they are dangerous.
Yeah, they are.
They're dangerous diets to go on. They're dangerous for most people if not done under medical supervision.
Yeah.
And actually they put huge strain on the kidneys. There's too much protein, too much fat, too much saturated fat. They are ridiculous fad diets. And you know what also gets me while I'm on this rant as well? Are these people in YouTube land who go on a diet, who lose weight, my weight loss journey, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 months later they put it all back on and they haven't said a thing. They haven't said a thing. Look at me now, I'm fat again. Well, it's true. It's true. And I think it's really, really wrong. I think you've got a responsibility as somebody who is in a public domain to give out good information that is factual and not ridiculous, stupid, bloody diets. Well, it gets my goat. We're both overweight. You're not going to see us going on a weight loss journey with you at all because it's unrealistic and it's unfair. What weight loss program works for Paul is not necessarily going to work for you. In fact, no, I've just come up with a new idea for a weight loss diary, Paul. No, I have. I'm going to combine a weight loss diary with a bird watching diary. And I'm going to call it My Tits Have Gone South.
And then of course, when they have gone south, you can then do Will My Tits Return?
Exactly.
Fabulous.
Do you know what I mean? I'm going to reach out to the aliens on the planet Tharg. I'm communicating with them now. They're telling me to only eat shortbread. Do you know what I mean?
They communicated that pretty well yesterday, certainly.
Well, exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Don't even start these diets. Eat sensibly. Cut down on fat. Be moderate with your carbohydrates. Have reasonable amount of protein. Make sure you're having vitamins, minerals in the form of vegetables, and bloody exercise. Go for a walk.
Losing weight for most people is not rocket science. Cutting down and going for a walk will do it. It did it for me, and then I haven't been doing my walking.
Exactly.
So there we are.
You know, so that is my rant over with.
We did, I'm not going to say the name of it, but it was somebody from Hill Street Blues. Some of you may remember Hill Street Blues. And I'm not sure if I've said this before, but one of the lead actors in Hill Street Blues came over to do a play. I think it was about 1996 or 97.
You have told this story
I have, I'm going to tell it again. And he was on a fat-free diet. So he had no fat in his diet whatsoever, but wasn't even replacing it with the sort of fat of nuts and things like that. And he ended up in hospital.
Collapsed.
He collapsed. Not good. Not good.
It can cause all sorts of different deficiencies. These stupid diets. You know, I'm moving on now. I've had my
Moving
rant,
on.
but
He's
it
had
really,
his rant.
really annoys me.
Oh, I could do a little song. Couldn't I? Shall I do a song?
So, moving on to the next subject. Paul went on a demonstration.
Oh, yes, I did.
Didn't
yes.
you, Paul? Well,
yes.
you didn't go on it, really, did you? You were doing
Well, I
PR.
was there.
You were PRing it.
So there's this oil drilling company called UK Oil and Gas, and they are looking at drilling for oil, experimental drilling for oil in an area of outstanding natural beauty in Surrey.
Oh, lovely.
How insane is that? You know, oil in the soil, we can't go on taking it out of the soil. So we had a demonstration, or that was with Vanessa. Vanessa was organising it with Protect Dunsfold, which is where this oil is going to be drilled for if Michael Gove agrees for it to happen. And we were showing that on this very dangerous road, that the lane that they need to go down, the huge vehicle that needs to go down that lane, cannot turn without crossing over common land. And common land has got loads of protection in English law, and the local borough and the local council have said that they are not allowed to cross over the boundary of common land. And we were using an outline of a vehicle with hazard tapes. I mean, a huge vehicle, a big articulated vehicle, that actually it couldn't get into this lane and down this lane without crossing common land. So we did really well, and Jeremy Hunt, who's one of our MPs in the UK, was there, and local councillors were there, members of XR were there, and lots of local people. And it was pouring, absolutely pouring, but was a really good demonstration of how this can't actually happen. And that was good. And we got decent media for it as well. And we were on BBC Radio Surrey in the morning. We were on BBC South Today, which is the TV for that area, on the Sunday. So yeah, did really well on media. It was a great day. I got so wet.
You did really well on the media because you were PRing it.
I was PRing it,
and
yes.
You're very experienced in PR, marketing and advertising.
And comms.
And you're currently looking for work.
Yeah, I suppose I am actually. Yeah, until we sell the house.
Lovely.
Yeah. But I got so wet, really did. You had a lovely dish for me when I came back.
I did. I had a lovely dish waiting for you. Lovely dish.
Yeah, it was hot
and tasty, cheap and tasty
and filling.
So Paul, what have we watched on television this week?
Did you know that there's a town near Belize called Pau? P-A-U.
Good.
I saw that yesterday.
What have we watched on television this week?
We have watched The Expanse.
The Expanse episode 5.
Oh.
Thrilling episode. Avasarala confronted drummer.
Yeah.
That was one of the peak moments.
It was.
Marvellous. Won't say any more in case you haven't watched it. But that was significant.
And what didn't we watch this week?
We did not watch Discovery because it was not on.
It wasn't. It was taking a break, apparently. What else didn't we watch this week? The Great Pottery Throwdown.
No.
Because we started watching it and we switched off.
So,
what else did we watch this week?
We
watched The Sky at Night.
Sky at Night, which was all about dark sky regions in the UK, which we don't have here in London.
Londinium.
We can just see the main stars of the main constellations.
The brighter stars and the closer stars.
They're not necessarily closer.
No, but they're either closer or brighter, one or t'other.
So that was interesting. We also watched
Sark, which is a small island off Guernsey. That has dark skies. It's what do you call it? Recognised as a dark sky viewing space.
We also watched the new series of Viera.
And did she have a lot of South African people there?
I just can't do the accent. Have you murdered somebody, love? I just cannot do the accent. That comes out Punjabi. And a little bit Caribbean.
Yeah, you're sort of going just like all over the globe.
And it's that glocal stop I can't achieve either.
Northumberland to Jamaica.
Which we do have in the northwest.
Do you?
But I can't think of the example. But yeah,
So yeah, it was. So we're
was
sort
good.
of halfway
it was
through
good.
the new series. So I think they did. Did they do 2 episodes in September or something? And there's 2 episodes just now as well, I think. So looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, it was good.
It was good.
We also started watching a program called The Tourist with that man.
Jamie Dornan.
Oh, I don't like him.
You don't like him,
I
do you?
don't like him. No, I think he's rubbish.
You didn't see The Fall, did
Can't
you?
act.
You didn't see The Fall, did
He's
you?
the same.
You
in
didn't see The Fall,
everything.
did you?
I saw a little bit of it when you were watching it, and he's the same in everything. He's not an actor.
But it's one of those things that is intriguing.
Just because some women think he's sexy doesn't make him an actor. Really? Really?
What we also started
Yeah, but
watching...
what confused me in The Tourist is they're in Australia and they're in the Outback, but they've all got really mild Australian accents. They all sound a little bit Australian, sort of posh.
They do, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why.
No, a bit Melbourne.
Because I thought they'd all belong there, you know, Australian, really.
Were they dragging any kangaroos behind them?
I thought they were going to talk like that because they're in the Outback. The Outback.
Outback.
Outback. No, I can't say that word.
No, you
I do
can't.
apologise to all of our Australian viewers, and we do have quite a few.
But I will watch the rest. Whether he watches the rest or not, I don't know. I think you
will
should.
not watch any more because I do not like him, and I think the acting isn't that good. I think it's trying to be something else. It's trying to be like Fargo or something.
Yeah, it is a bit
Do you
sort of
know what
like
I mean?
Australian Fargo.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I don't like that when people... the beginning was like Duel,
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's the one that I was thinking
you
of.
know, and I just thought, no, you're just taking... And it's all referencing stuff, all well and good, but ripping something off directly is not on. Really.
So we also watched Rules of the Game.
Rules of the Game with Maxine Peake. Yeah, we're kind of getting into it.
Oh, I'm into it. I'm into it. It's not...
I'm into it. I'm into it as well. God.
It is not necessarily... It's not necessarily an easy watch because
Okay.
it requires the viewer to jump between quite a lot of time zones.
Timelines.
Timelines.
Not time zones, Paul. Timelines.
Timelines. Yes, you're right. You're right. Timelines.
I'm
you're right.
I usually am.
So we jump back 10 years and then we jump forward and there's lots of interwoven relationships. But actually it's really, for me, it's really engaging. Because at the moment,
It's okay.
do we know who's dead?
We think we do.
But do we know who's
We
dead?
think we do.
But do we know?
But no, we don't, because we didn't see the body. So we're not too sure. It's twisty-turny. There's been a lot of negative reviews, I've noticed.
I heard that a lot of people had turned off after about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I did think when she was wearing pyjamas, why is she coming to the office wearing pyjamas?
We found that out, haven't
But
we?
I now know.
Yeah. So, recommended, give it a go.
Definitely.
We've also started watching Mandy,
Yes, second season
which
of
is
Mandy.
a comedy show. We didn't watch the first season,
No,
did
but I
we?
think we'll go back and start watching it.
She annoys me a little bit with the thing she does with her mouth.
Well, so do you. Yeah.
This sort of thing that she does like that.
But that's her thing, isn't it?
But she does a good character, but guess if you get into the character, you accept it.
Yeah, I thought that there was a bit about going on a cruise. One of her friends wins a cruise, but only for one person, not for two. So so something happens with the suitcase, and I just find it very funny.
That's lovely, Paul. We also watched
And a tangerine, or
We
was it a
also
mandarin?
We also
Tangerine.
watched,
Tangerine, I
Paul, a very interesting Andy Warhol documentary
We did.
about the factory, his home, home of his art making. And that was interesting and engaging, and I got a sort of little soft spot for Andy Warhol. because I think he truly was ahead of his time.
Oh, I think he was.
You think of the amount of influence that Andy Warhol has had on modern pop culture. I'm talking about things like video, when people started making pop videos. I mean, all those films that he made were really rubbish, basically. But they were filled with out of focus, strange camera work, split screen, all sorts of different techniques, and just try it sort of experimentation. It was, very, very interesting and totally off the wall for the time.
But I think he was so huge, wasn't he, that actually people fawned at his feet.
Well, yeah.
So...
But he courted... After he was shot, he sort of calmed down and did different stuff, and he courted the very wealthy people, didn't he? The elite of the art world, in order to make money. Whereas his first sort of efforts were not necessarily a money-making machine. It was a lot of experimentation, but fascinating. I think he had a fascinating life. What's that noise?
It's a plane taking off. So I think it was a two-parter or three-parter.
I think there's several parts.
We caught the last one. It was just on a sort of flick over, and we got there.
I don't think it was the last one.
Well, when they said that's the last in the series, it made me think that was the last one.
I don't think they did, Paul.
I think you'll find they did.
I
think you'll find they did. I think you'll find they did.
No. It was part 2 that we were watching.
Then it was part 2 of the two-parter.
No, I think there's another part. I'll find out and
see.
Prove you wrong.
Marvellous.
Yes.
I love being proved wrong.
So, Paul, that's it.
Is that it?
That's it. It was a bit of a ranty one this week.
Yeah, you were quite
and a bit
ranty,
long. Well, I'm
you?
sorry, but there's things that have to be said. When bullshit is abounding, call it out. Thank you. Bloody thank you. Paul, it's not funny. It's not funny. Stop now. All this trying to be funny malarkey, it doesn't work for you. You can fold your arms as much as you like, it's not going to make any difference.
I can't fold my arms any more than that.
Feel very dry, those elbows under there. If I were to rub hard enough, your elbow would break through.
You need to put some of your special cream on my elbow.
Oh, special cream.
Yeah.
Say goodbye now, Paul. Say goodbye.
Goodbye!
Stop folding your arms. It's rude in front of an audience to fold your arms, Paul. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Goodbye. Bye.